Hello students, welcome to e-learning with Divine Public School Navsari. Now we already completed second chapters, two chapters in economics, and this is the third chapter, that is demand. So let's start with it. Now in our first lecture of demand, we are going to learn the meaning of demand and what are the factors affecting demand. So these are the two simple topics which we are going to start today. Now let's start with the demand. You have heard this word many times and you find that what does the demand actually means. So here in economics term, you find that demand is a quantity of a commodity which a buyer is by desire is able and willing to buy at a given price at a given point of time. So demand is nothing. Demand is the quantity of a commodity. Means demand is the quantity that how much quantity and how much pieces or how much quantity you want that particular commodities which buyer desire, he desire as well as he is able to pay for it, and after that when this both of them match, he is willing to buy that particular given product, but at that given price, not at the higher price but at what price it has been listed. And then after at a given point of time, so at which point he desire and he is able, he thinks that I want that particular thing, I'm having that money, I'm capable of it to purchase it, and it satisfy my human need or my satisfactory want. Then after he try to look out for the price, and finally when the price is suitable for him, what he try to do at that moment, he try to purchase. Similarly, like you find that we try to purchase online. So in online system or any other shops offline, we find when you go to different shops, so we try to look for the, we have certain desire, certain particular fond of branded clothes or anything, and we try to look for it. And when you find that particular cloth, that particular dress, so what you try to do, you try to look the price and then after look your savings. And then after when it is all okay, or it is, you find that it, I, this particular thing only I want and I'm having that much money and I can able to purchase that, so that becomes your willingness to buy and you decide that you want to buy. And then you find that at that particular price, you feel that this is the price for this particular product or dress or cloth, and it is a suitable price, it is a reasonable price for yourself. So that time you try to purchase that particular product, that is called as what, demand. So the how much quantity or what quantity at what quantity you desire, you are able and you are willing to buy that particular product with that given price and that point of time, that particular together becomes a demand. So in general sense, if you see that one must there one must should have desire. So desire comes from when you look from your neighbor side, your relatives, your friends. If someone is having that particular thing, you also want that particular thing, right? If any of your friend is having headphone, you also like to have headphone, you desire it. Then after you try to think that I really need that particular thing, so your need, your want that. And then after you see that, you make your decision that I want that particular thing. And then after you look out the price, so at that price, at you having that much budget or not, you try to look out. And when you make sure that you're having that much budget, and then after you find that you want that particular thing and you are able to purchase, so then you move that your willpower becomes strong. And when your willpower, you're willing to buy, so you try to look out at that particular price, it is available or not. If it is available, you try to make the order online only, and then after you find that, you try to give order. So that particular point of time, you give that particular order, that becomes a demand for that particular product. So this is how demand has been known, or it has been coming up. So one must should have desire. So this particular demand definition has 5 factors which we have to keep. So what are the 5 keywords of this particular, that is, first is desire. One must have desire. There should be some desire, then only you try to purchase that product, then only you try to wish that this product will satisfy me. So one must should have desire. So desire means nothing but passion, or you try to feel that yes, by looking at the advertise or by looking at my friend's thing, I also want that particular thing which is maybe useful, because many of the things are not useful to us, we just simply want that. So talking about just desire, you try to find out that particular desire is created by looking at the advertisement, by hearing from your friends. So all these things makes the desire to purchase that particular product. Second, willingness to buy. So you feel that yes, this particular product is good, nice, and I really want it, it is useful for me. That becomes when you make your decision that I want to buy, that is becomes your willingness to buy. Third, ability to buy. Then after, when you make your decision, when you want that particular product, what you try to do, you try to check out your savings, you try to talk with your parents that I this and so things I want for myself, so that I can able to use that particular thing. Like, so you try to check with the ability, as well as you try to check with the ability that it is available or not. So first you try to check the ability that you have that much budget for that particular product or not. Then after, you try to check out the price of that product. Is it that price only that product is there, or it is the price is lower or higher prices? So you look out that particular price. Then after, when you see that price is nominal, you are able to purchase that, you find that it is at a certain discount and it is everything, and you try to purchase that particular at that particular point of time, that becomes what? Demand. So these 5 points are very important for determining the demand. So this is how demand definition has become. So demand is a quantity of a commodity, of a particular commodity, which a buyer desire, is able and willing to buy at a given price at a given point of time. So this all 5 factors are in the definition, and it has been discussed here. So these 5 points are the keywords which becomes our definition, that at certain quantity only we try to purchase that particular product or commodity. So that becomes demand. Now moving to the factors affecting demand. So what are the factors which actually affect our demand? Means when you want to purchase a particular product, so what are the factors which you try to look out, and it affects our demand, that we want to purchase it now or on later or afterwards, or don't want to purchase. So there are certain factors which are been taken into note. So let's start with that. First, these factors are also known as determinants. The determinants of demand of a commodity or service can be classified into two categories. First is price of a commodity. So first thing is, we try to check out always the price, at what particular price that product is available, and that price is actually need to be paid or not. Second, factors other than price. So factors other than price, what are the things which comes under factor than price? Means that price is chalo okay, but really there are many things which comes into your budget, but you try to purchase which you desire only. So other things which are not there, other things, suppose the price is okay, but what are the other things you try to look? First is your taste and preference. You try to choose the product with your taste and preference. So taste and preference of the consumer affects the particular demand. Means how we can say that, suppose you like chocolates, so in that it is a chocolates I told, but which category, which thing in that, which type of chocolate you like, which flavor of chocolate you like the most, so that makes differ. Which brand chocolate you want, so that makes differ. So this is how this particular taste and preference is all about. So taste and likeness and dislikeness makes that you try to choose a particular brand company's chocolate only. For example, Cadbury, or we can say like different Smitten is there, different companies Cadbury's you try to select, so that you only go with that particular brand. So taste and preferences plays important role for the demand of the product. Second, income of a consumer. Suppose your income increases, so what does it affect? Income decreases, so how that particular effect, that we are going to learn. Then price of related goods. Now related goods means with that particular product, what are the other goods? If the price of the other goods, suppose your main product is, suppose like as I told, like headphone is there, so headphone is there, but apart from that there are bluetooths are available, there are earbuds, so there are different earphones, wireless earphones are also available, which are cheaper, which give you the same effect. So for that, what are the things which are been there? Other substitute goods or other different goods which are available, so what their prices affects the demand for that particular product. Then after, expectations of the future prices, like in future the price will increase or decrease. So when you try to decide that particular thing, when you try to think in the future the price will increase or decrease, that affects the demand at the current, at the present period, present times. And lastly, the size and demographic profile of population. So population size also matters, as well as population profile. Demographic profile means the general profile, like how the consumers are, what are their like taste, preference, likeness, age, we can say. All these things are been known and then it has been launched. So all these particular things affects. So other than price, you find there are 5 points. First main point are 2 points, that is price of a commodity affects the demand, as well as other than other factors then price are there, that is taste and preference of consumer. Means when you are only going with brands, so you try one particular brand or two brands, you does not look for other brands though it is well better good product or not. Income, and your income increases you demand different goods, when your income decreases you demand different goods. Then after price of related goods, like main, apart from your main product main brand, other brands are there. So if other brands products are increasing or decreasing, how it affects the demand of that particular main product is there. Then after you find that, like suppose your the concern product which you want to purchase, that particular prices will go up in future. So what you try to do now, if that particular product will, the prices will go down in future, you find to estimate, or you just forecast it. So what will happen? So that particular scenario, that particular thing also affects the demand. And then after lastly, the size of population and the demographic profile of the population also affects the particular, we can say, demand. So demand of goods are having this two main thing, and in that other than price it has 5 points. Now let's study that particular all these 6 points, we can say altogether 6 points in detail. Let's start with first point, that is price of a commodity or we can say services. So what does a price play important role? So you find that price of a concern good, concern means which good you want to purchase, is the most important determinant of its demand. So which product you want to purchase, and that price is very much important for you because you are going to purchase that product at that particular price. Then after, so what happens, so here we have seen in the particular first chapter itself like representation of data, and we have learned one particular thing, that when a price of a good falls, suppose a goods price are falling, you find that the consumer will buy more because its demand expands. So if a particular product prices will get lower, that product's demand will get expand, and you find that rational consumers, like normal consumers, unbiased consumers, will try to purchase that particular product more. And same vice versa, that is opposite will happen. So you find when the price of a goods increases, if the prices increase, the consumer will buy less because the demand contracts. So you find that this is how it was working in that, and we have represented that particular into a diagram, yes or no? So same thing, so price matters. If price of any goods is increasing up, you find that the demand will always go down. If suppose price is falling or it is getting decreased, you find that that particular demand of that product will get increased, because you find that people what they think that if the price little bit slowly if it is reducing, slowly you find that the people will demand that particular product more and more, and vice versa will happen. If suppose like we talk about crude oil, so crude oil, petrol, suppose we'll talk only petrol and diesel price are going up higher, you find that people will you stop means people will start using less, only for limited period only you try. But if suppose petrol become cheaper, what will happen? From 70 it comes to 50, or we can say 60 also, you find that people will try to purchase more and more. So this is how it works in a real world also. So price affects the product, and we have to remember that thing, that is if a price decreases of a product, the demand increases for that particular product. And if suppose price increases for that particular product, the demand will decrease for that particular process. So these are the two points which you have to remember when it comes to price and demand. So it is inversely proportionate, or it is having inverse relation between price and demand of a particular commodity. So price and demand though does not go hand in hand. If suppose price is going up, the demand will go down. If price is going down, the demand will go up. So it shows opposite direction. That's why it is called inverse relationship between price and we can say demand. So this is what the price is all about. Now let's study about the other determinants. In that, first was taste and preference of a consumer. Now taste and preference means your like and dislike. Suppose you like particular, like shoe is there, So you try to purchase a shoe that is a brand, we can say Reebok. So if Reebok shoe which you are purchasing for 1500 to 1800, if suppose that particular thing you are purchasing, no matter another person or like you try to go with another brand is giving at 1000 rupees also, you won't go because you are much familiar, you are much likable to one particular brand. So what says, if a person is fond of reading, here the example is taken of reading, her and his preference for reading will change with the age. So person is there, so that there is a long time duration of life. So find at different stage of ages he try to read different books. So you find at a young age, when we are young, we does not try to we are we reading that particular more like scientific books? No, we are reading story books. When we are just kids, when we are just growing in senior, junior, first, second, third till fifth, you find we are learning story books. When you are teen, when you come to teenage, you find that you try to read novels. In adulthood, in teen, you find that in your young age. And when you became old, if you see your grandparents, they try to read more of spiritual books. So this is how age factor differs, and it make us that we try to choose different particular, we can say, books at different ages. Same way, suppose you are been only going with one particular, like in the age of in the child age you try to eat more of chocolate, but when you become more young, or we can say it is adulthood, like when you're crossing 30, you try to reduce it. When you go with 25 only, you try to reduce that chocolate and everything. So you find that it is not much important that much when you are was a kid. So this is how your change in taste and preference comes with the time also. But when it comes to, for example, particular brand type, suppose you want like Nike shoes only, Nike shoes, but suppose Reebok shoes is a very much cheaper and very good quality also, but you try to go with that particular brand only. So sometimes taste and preference also plays an important role. So you try to go. So to be considered in the extent, demands depend upon the likes and dislike. So what the demand is demanding depends upon, we can say it depends upon the likeness. If people like that particular brand, they will so they will certainly move to that particular brand only, they will not look for the other brand. So this is how he's talking about. So this is called as taste and preferences, that is likes and dislike in common words. Second, income of a consumer. So there is a direct relation between the income and demand. If you have seen the price what was having relationship, they were having inverse relation, means the price increases, the demand decreases, and the price decreases, the demand increases. That was the inverse relationship which you find. Same way you find here, that here there is a the direct relation, means we can say, if when an income of a consumer falls, means suppose a person is there, suppose your father is working and his income is there, and suppose that income gets reduced, his or her demand of that particular goods, his demand for the goods will fall. Yes or no? Because their income has reduced, you will not consume how much you're consuming before at a normal stage. When your income is reduced, you will try to go with limiting your budget, because your budget is now, income is less. So when income of a consumer increase, suppose he get promotion, your father got promotion in the job. So what is happening? The income increased. So that time the demand for the goods will be also increased. So this is how it called as, it is a direct relation between the income and the demand of the particular person. So this is how it works. So there are certain goods. So normally there are certain goods which you try to purchase. Here let's talk about, before going to this topic, I want to say that suppose your income increases, suppose you are a student now, after you are doing your graduation, when you try to do your graduation, you are till that graduation you are not working. But suppose when you got a job after graduation, when you get a job after graduation, you started earning. So now when you try to earn the particular money, when before you are not earning, what it happens, you try to demand certain things, you increase your standard of living, because you are now you're able to earn on your own, as well as you can spend on your own. So that particular stage, what happens, you find that you try to purchase different good things which you want, which you have desired in your teenage or childhood. So that particular desire fulfill, and that time you try to fulfill your demand more. So what is happening up, the demand of the product rise when your income of a consumer rise. Same way, suppose you after 2 months again you become in jobless, we can see same thing like jobless. So what you try to do, you try to lower the budget, or you will stop that purchasing the goods which you're purchasing before. So this is how it works. So if your, you can say, if your income decrease, so that time you limit your budget and you try to go according to the budget or the income which you are earning, which is limited now. So this is how it works now. But in that particular period of time, you find that some certain goods which are exception, like inferior goods, low quality goods. So many a time what happens, if your income has suddenly reduced, what you find that you try to not consume the normal goods or luxurious good, but you try to go with inferior goods many times. Like you find that the workers which are working on a daily basis, so they try to purchase goods on a daily basis and they try to earn it. So that time when the person is earning on a daily wages, you find that he or she, they will purchase goods of inferior quality from that particular shops or stores. They will try to go with minimizing the cost and getting the more amount of food. So that time you find that they will not purchase normal goods, or goods which we are purchasing, they will try to purchase with the inferior quality of goods. So those goods which are there in the market, their demand increase because the income of that particular person decreases. So that is how it is inversely proportionate. So that particular inferior quality of goods are not included here in this particular thing. Here in the income, if the income increases, you find that normal goods which we are using, we try to go with demanding more, or we will demand luxurious good. If your income decreases, what is happening of that particular consumer will purchase less, the demand gets decreases. The normal goods which was purchasing, suppose for 2 liters of milk, he will reduce to 1 liter of milk. So like this it happens, it goes on. So this is how income of a consumer affects the demand of a particular product. But here inferior quality goods we are not talking about, we are only talking about the normal goods which is going on. Okay, then after this third point that comes, that is price of related goods. Now here two types of related goods are there. First is substitute goods, another is complementary goods. So let's talk about substitute goods. Now if a price of a substitute goods increases or decreases, what happens? Substitute, first understand what is substitute goods. Substitute goods are those goods which can be easily used in place of one another. Suppose you get two products, or when you want to have soft drink, you want to have a soft drink, you are very much likable to the brand like Coca-Cola. But if Coca-Cola is not available, what happens? You try to go with Pepsi. So close substitute of one another, which can be used. Suppose if Coca-Cola is not available, you try to go with Pepsi. If Pepsi is not available, you try to go with Coca-Cola. So like this, hand in hand, you try to go with. So that particular product is called as what? Substitute goods, which have similar identities. Such goods have the same characters. You find that Coca-Cola and both are soft drinks, both are having black color, both of them help us for digesting our food, so it gives relief. So both of them, minute taste difference you find that, and it is there, but both are ultimately soft drinks. So it has the same characteristic. It can be used alternative. Yes, we can use many times. If you don't get Pepsi, you try to go with Coca-Cola. When you don't get Coca-Cola, you try to go with Thumbs Up. So these three brands which are interchangeable, which can be used after one. If one is not available, you try to go with another product also, but with the same characteristics. But that is how we can say it is called substitute goods. So if a price of substitute goods falls, suppose, well, let's take the same example like Coca-Cola and Pepsi is there. So if you find that when the price of substitute goods falls, suppose you are liking Coca-Cola and the Coca-Cola price, you are liking Coca-Cola, but when you're not getting Coca-Cola, you try to purchase Pepsi, and that Pepsi product prices are getting reduced. The price of Pepsi has reduced. What happens? The consumer may choose or replace his current brand, that is Coca-Cola. A consumer who is liking Coca-Cola will change it to where? To the substitute goods, because the price of the substitute goods fall with the substitute goods which has become cheaper. Yes. So you find that 40 rupees, you find bottles are coming up with a 600 750 ml of bottles you find of soft drinks. So Coca-Cola is there and you find that Pepsi is there, and many of time in the big malls, or you find Reliance Supermart only if you are going, what happens? There are schemes that when you buy two bottles you get one free. So like the different scheme is there only for Pepsi. What happens? Will you go for Coca-Cola? No, you'll try to go shift your demand to the Pepsi because it has a good offer or the price has reduced. When purchasing two bottles you get one free, whereas here there is no offer available for Coca-Cola. So when it becomes cheaper, like that time you try to substitute, you try to go with the substitute goods by replacing your current brand. That time what happens, we can say that it affects the demand for the current brand, that is it affects the demand for Coca-Cola bottles. So this is how it works. Now there is a direct relation between the demand for a good and price of its substitute goods. So here also you find that if price of the substitute goods increases, you find that the demand for the concern or a main good increases. Suppose ultimately अगर same thing, what happens that Coca-Cola, not Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola is your main product and Pepsi price increases, and here Coca-Cola is having the same offer. Now Pepsi is not having that offer, it is having Coca-Cola, that when you purchase two bottles of it you get one bottle free, but Pepsi is not having the same. So as well as you find that your main product is that only. So what happened, you find that those person who are drinking Pepsi will shift to the Coca-Cola also because it has a directly relation. When a price of another substitute goods affects the demand for a concern means the main good which you want, so that is having direct relationship. So this is how substitute goods work. So this is one of the related good, that is substitute goods. You try to shift your demand from a main good to the another brand because it has the same characteristics. You find minute difference, you try to use, it is there and you try to go with that also. Then second type of is, that is complementary, price of complementary goods. Now here complementary goods are those goods which are consumed together, one cannot be consumed without other. Suppose that goods which are consumed jointly, we can say those goods which are consumed jointly together, we can say, then only it is being used. If not, you cannot use separately alone, you cannot consume it alone. For example, if you have your bike, so bike requires you petrol. So what is happening, up to run a bike, to go from one place to another on bike, you have to fill up your dicky with petrol. So you find that you have to use petrol, you have to use fuel to move from one place to another place. So this is how it works. So it is called complementary. Same way you find that that particular thing should consume jointly to satisfy your need. So when you want to go from one place to another with your own vehicle, so not only bike is required, but in with bike you find you require petrol also, so that becomes complementary to each other. Then after you find that, for example, here examples are taken like mobile phone and SIM card. You having mobile phone but there is no SIM card, so what is the use? Only for playing games, you don't want to call your friends. So you find that mobile phones are also necessary. Then after car and petrol, like we are talking car is there, so petrol or diesel or any other fuel, CNG we can say, that is being used. Then after you find if you have taken AC, cooler, any other electronic items, you require electricity to run on it, without it cannot run on batteries, so you require what, electricity for it. So like this it becomes complementary goods, so it has to be consumed jointly. To use that particular good, you require another good, another thing, so that we can consume that particular good, we can use that particular good to satisfy our needs. So that type of goods are called as complementary goods. I hope you are being clear with that. Now if a price of complementary goods rises, suppose complementary good price rises, then the demand for the original goods falls and vice versa. यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहे हैं कि suppose when price of petrol, let's talk about car and petrol. So price of petrol increases, you find that the demand for car will get decrease. Why? Because if there is a continuous increase in the price only of petrol, what you find that in the fuel becomes costlier, and when fuel become costlier, what happen, people think that this is making so much of costliness, so why to use car when we can go with public transport? So this is what happens. So it is inversely proportionate. So if a price of complementary good rise, then the demand for original goods fall. So main good demand will get fallen, and opposite will happen. If a price of the complementary good falls, you find that demand for original goods will rises. So this is how it works. So these are the two types of related goods. First is substitute goods and second is complementary goods. I hope you have been clear with the substitute one and the complementary one. Yeah, let's talk about the fourth point, that is the D point, that is expectations about future prices. Now when you try to think that that particular product which is available at present time, that demand will increase in future, or the price will increase in future, what happens? Suppose petrol is there. Let's talk about petrol only. So if the petrol price at present today, we can talk it is nearly 68 rupees. When you think that in future after 5 days or tomorrow only, let's suppose tomorrow only it is going to become 73, so 5 rupees increase will be there in the petrol prices, what will happen? People will rush to the petrol pump to fill up their car, mopeds, bikes. Why? Because you find that for every liter they have to pay tomorrow 5 rupees more. So like that in future, if the price will get increased, people will start storing that particular product that now. So you find an individual expectation, one person particular expect that in future the goods affect his current demand of that. In future the price of that particular goods affects our demand for goods which are there, means at present time it will affect. If you think that tomorrow the price of that petrol will rise to 4 rupees also, you will run to the petrol pump and you will start filling up you will fill full your mopeds or bikes or any vehicles. So this is how it is happening. So if a consumer expects that the price of a goods rise in the future, the demand for the goods increases at the current period or at the present times, and opposite will happen. Suppose they think that in future the product prices are going to become less, you find that time at present the demand will get decreased and that time the people will purchase more. So this is how it happens. So suppose we'll talk about the opposite one, that is mobile phones. The mobile phones which are launched today at present time, when after the 2 or 3 months it will go, you find that there is a reduction of 500 1000 rupees in the phones. So you find that in the future like after 2-3 months you're not want to purchase now, but in future you find that you want to purchase this product, you desire to purchase it now, but you think that after 3 months, if I wait for 3 months, that mobile phone I will get with 1 or 2000 cheaper. So this is how it's there. So many times you have to wait for the different opportunities, that you find that when the product prices are less and you can acquire the same product, like Amazon sale, Flipkart sale, online sales are there, like newer sales are there. When it comes to New Year, Christmas sales are there. So like this different types of sales, Ramzan sales we can say, which has been there. So you try to go with expecting that in future so and so time the product price will decrease due to some or the other reason, and that individual will wait for that time and will purchase on that particular time. So he thinks for the future and he will reduce his demand now or expands the demand now. So this is how it works. So you feel that in future price will rise, people will start demanding now more only. If you feel that in future the demand will get the price will get decreased, you will not demand now, you will wait well till the time reaches to the minimum level, and that time you try to purchase it. Now the last one, that is the size and demographic profile of the population. So size of population also matters as well as demographic profile. Now demographic profile means what? It talks about the people habit, people taste, preference, everything, ages, what type of people are available. Like in India you find that what we try to eat roti, chapati, rice, dal, so sabji, everything. But when it comes to the European states, what they try to they try to eat with Italian style. In that boil, everything is boiled, less amount of oil things. They don't eat much of rotis. They try to go with junk foods like pizza, burger, anything. So Frankies or any other things. So what you find that their eating style is different. Here eating style is different. So you find that here in India, people will consume more of chapati. So they will purchase more of wheat. So based on that particular thing, you find that here same way wheat is consumed by others also in other countries also, but in a different form. So if you go with foreign culture, they try to go with junk foods like pizza, burger, different type of things which they are available. So depending upon the demographic profile or the habitual of the population as well as size also matters. Because if suppose one particular country is there, if a population is less, like Australia, let's we talk about Australia. So it is having population of 1 crore 70 lakh only. 1 crore 70 lakh people are there. So suppose let's talk about 2 crores of people are there, so they will demand for that. The demand for that particular product in that particular country is okay. But when it comes to the world level, in India you find that 130 crores of people are there. How much? 130 crores. So it is far more and more, we can say. How much time we can say? 65 times more than Australia in India. So the demand for the product is, here it depends. So country wise country, the product demand will get increase or decrease. Same way you can see that in here country also you find different region peoples are available in India. So different regions will demand different products. And if you go to the south, the people will eat more of rice. When you come to the northern side, you will find the people will eat more of chapatis. So different places, different situation, you have to look for that particular population. They have to look for the people's taste preference and what are the demand for it, habituations, and then after you have to go with it. So here it says that the size as well as demographic profile also of the population impacts the total market or that particular demand for the goods. Now if a total population is large, suppose like India, country like India, the population is more, what do you find? That you find that the more products are demanded here, because population is also more compared to the other countries. So if greater is the population belongs to a particular age group, then the demand for certain groups on the market will be more. Like you find that many of the products which are coming from foreign countries, like you find Apple phones, different brand TVs, different mobile phones. Not only Apple, you find that Korean phones, China phones which are coming up here. You find that because we have more of youngsters in India and more of youngsters are there, that's why these foreign companies try to come here and sell their products. So you find that depending upon the country size as well as demographic profile, like you find that youngsters want what? They want modern equipments, they want good camera qualities, they want good processor for gaming, all different things they want for that. So what you find that the demand of that particular population for that particular products are more, and that's why you find that people from foreign countries try to make this type of, they try to satisfy by making that type of products and they try to sell in India. So this were the 5 points which affects, or we can say these are the 6 point, not 5, these are the 5 other than price, and the main one is price. So these are the 6 factors which affects the demand of a particular product. So this is how it works. I hope you are being very clear with this. It's very easy, just go with the real concept, how you try to purchase the goods. In that economics has been applied and you have been using, just it's a theory which you have to learn, nothing apart. I hope you have been very clear. You need to write down the notes as well as you need to just refer with your first and second chapter, because soon we are going to have a test. I will let you know when we'll have test. So just go with that particular both the chapters. We'll have test for that both the chapters very soon. But till then you study this also, make the notes, write down the notes, and any difficulty contact me. Thank you.